All right, I got to clear up one part of it. The hanging out with the chicks, it was a chick. I met my wife out in LA. We met on Tinder, believe it or not. That's the only way you can meet out there in LA, but this is it. To be honest, be our feature presentation.
Blane.
Yeah.
Tennessee?
Huh?
Where are you from, Tennessee?
I love to.
You got it messed up, right?
We're here right here. We're about to get in. Should we just do this a Q&A for me? Who is just Blane? Where I'm from. I grew up in Humboldt, Tennessee. Probably nobody in here has heard of this place.
Yes.
Somebody has?
Yes. I've been there.
Yeah, me too.
That's why I left.
I believe you.
That's why I left it out.
I feel like you're probably from there. You got cousins or something there. Population about 9,800. I grew up on a 200-acre farm. I played a lot of sports. I loved entertainment. I didn't have like a favorite movie, favorite anything. I just enjoyed and figure out how do you do all this magic. So, where I went, where do you go for that? Hollywood. So I went and moved to Hollywood, California. I lived on Hollywood Boulevard. Population of 9.8 million. So we went from 9,800 to 9.8 million. I got lucky. That's pretty much it. I got lucky. Yes, I had a lot of talent, a lot of skills, but I got lucky in what I did. And this was after I got to Hollywood. So there was a lot of radio history before this. But when I got to Hollywood, of course I did the whole thing. I slept on the street a night or two. I got all ramen noodles. I had 1 penny left in my bank account after I bought a pack of ramen noodles. Walking up the street, I found another penny on the ground and laughed until I cried because I was worth twice what I was. Landed a game at EA Games. I landed a job at EA Games. It wasn't a game. It was Medal of Honor, so I worked on a video game. And got this gig because I had FCC knowledge from the radio world. From there, I went and helped launch NBC Sports Radio. I also became the content director. I launched a podcast network with them and produced thousands of shows for them. Next, I went to be the executive producer of Big Boy's Neighborhood. Who knows what Big Boy's Neighborhood is? It's a hip hop show, best top hip hop show in the world. So here I am, grew up on this farm in Tennessee, and I'm in here with people I should be in the room with. Honestly. Then, at the same time, there was a former career of mine that was a professional wrestler. Yes, I was. It did happen. That led me to be the producer for some of the WWE legends at Podcast One, including Stone Cold Steve Austin, Vince Russo, and Chris Jericho. You guys may not know who any of these names are, but it's okay. And then I became the producer for Strombo at Apple Music. I want to point out that from this job on is why I got lucky, because I never applied to any of these. I didn't do a great job of networking, but what I did do a great job of is keeping my head down and working my ass off and not playing the politics in the back of Hollywood. So all of these gigs came from somebody else saying, Blane's the hardest. If you need a guy, that's him. That's your guy. And that is where all of these came from. What do we do at Ride the Wave Media? And how did Hollywood lead me to Ride the Wave Media? Well, I took everything I liked in Hollywood and basically doing it on my own. I helped launch NBC. I helped launch an Apple Music went on there. I did help launch Apple Music Hits. So I want to do it myself. I moved to Utah with my lovely wife, who just walked in a little bit late. Thank you for being here.
That was on time.
We moved here. She gave me the inspiration. She said, why don't you just do it yourself? I'm like, oh yeah, it would be the greater one here to let me know, yeah, I've done this for everybody else. I can do this for myself and help anybody else who wants this. This is what we're doing. We do podcast production. We help you go from the ideation. You can just come with an idea. You can say, I want a podcast. I help you from there. All the way to recording first episode. Content repurposing. I love repurposing content because you can use it over and over and over, and it's way smarter and it's not as hard to do when you can repurpose something and get a new audience that you didn't know you had. Example, I did this at Big Boy. We had celebrities come in all the time. We would have an hour interview. We'd play 3 minutes of it, and that was it. So I said, well, why don't we just start repurposing these every single day and put out the big interview of the day? So Big Boy had a big interview of the day. So we had a celebrity interview every day. It was a new piece of content or a repurposed one that nobody had heard yet, or people had heard, but we would catch new audience. No work, didn't have to record anything extra. I'll help you with social media content, your strategies, and then branding and storytelling. Every person on the planet got a different story to tell, and I'll put it right here. Life is a journey. The individual journeys are what makes us all special. It really is. Hold on, let me hit this one too. My focus is helping clients show up consistently and not professionally. I don't think that. Who decided what was professional? On brand online is where you need to be. One of the coolest stores I ever saw in LA was called Barkin' Bitches. Is that professional? Not in somebody else's terms, but I guarantee that business was successful because it caught everybody's eye. I still think about it now. Could be out of business now, you know. Why would you have a podcast? You build trust. Bonus points for where this picture came from. I think it was actually Predator.
That's the handshake country of the world.
I think it was actually Predator. That's Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger's one. That's Predator. Close. With trust comes authority. You will become the expert in your field, and the audience will feel like they know you. That's the goal. You want people to feel like they hang out with you, even though you've never met them. You can create a community. People think 20 million listeners, 20,000 listeners is where you want to be, but if you've got 20 that are loyal, it's just as good as the 20,000. I've had 20,000. I will tell you this right now. I am over 1 billion clicks on my content that I've created. I have seen all this stuff. And then the biggest one that I ever had was one that got 20 listens. The biggest return on investment was 20 listens because it was targeted towards dentists. And at the end of this, there was a $50,000 course, and all 20 of them signed up. But I've had 10 billion listens and never seen a dime off of that. Stats to back it up. 62% of consumers listen to podcasts. What's the most popular platform? YouTube. Yep, 40% now are going to YouTube to watch videos. 2025 ad spending, $4.46 billion on podcasts. This is stuff people don't even really know about. 81% of listeners, this is where it's key. 81% of listeners, because you built this trust, will take action after they hear you say something to do. There's 585 million listeners worldwide. What's the biggest country to listen to podcasts? South Africa. Your voice is your brand. You are one of one. There's this like stereotype. Somebody, what's a trade stereotype in here? Plumber. Stereotype. Plumbers. Everybody sees your butt crack. Oh yeah.
Crap days.
Guess what? Start an ad and say, if you see our butt crack, you get everything for free. Put your man in some suspenders. Make sure it never happens, but you will be known as, oh, that's the butt crack guys.
It's okay.
But you see what I'm saying? You can play to your stereotypes. Here's the process. We'll do a strategy session, production, distribution. Here's a true testimonial. Courtney Pearl is in the room right now. She had no experience, never been on air. I coached her to confidence, and now she is charted. She's top 10 podcasts in Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Wales in spirituality. She doesn't know this, but she's got a top 100 overall podcast in Canada. Pretty good. Here's my referral partners right here. Local business owners, I need help showing up online. I don't have time to create content. Guess what? I do. Thought leaders, I want to start a podcast. That's your influencers. That's people like anybody in this room really could do this. That's what you're listening for. Call to actions right here. Just ask one question. Who do you know that wants to grow their brand through content? That's probably everybody in this room. Step 2, scan a QR code. So call me. Let's do it. And here's all that I could fit on one slide. People collect baseball cards. It looks like I collected pictures with people that I've worked with over the years. There's about 3 more slides of this, and then there's a list of names that I've worked with. And honestly, when I put it together, I couldn't believe them. These people, they're just like us. They're human. I sat in the rooms. I saw these people cry. I saw them say, I don't have any money. Everybody's human. And they all had stories to tell. They're no different than you guys. Well, let's tell your story. Let's do it. Ride the wave media. You guys may not know who a lot of these people are, but this was my life right here.
I see Ice Cube.
There's a lot of Ice Cube. There's me and Ice Cube over the years here, and there is a video out there where I actually interrupt Ice Cube. Me and Ice Cube, we got a good repertoire. Believe it or not, dude grew up on the farm and hangs out with Ice Cube. And ended up playing video games with a bunch of these guys, and yeah, went to some of them houses. It's a different world. It's a different life. But what I did learn was that anywhere that I was at was right where I was supposed to be. So, thank you. That's it.